So Jennifer, talk to me about you. How do you define yourself?
How do I define myself? Oh my goodness.
Imagine nobody knows you and you have to talk about you. How did you define Jennifer?
You know, that's a hard question because we tend to define ourselves so much through our work. And I really
That's all. That's
and
fine.
I really tried to make sure that I'm more than just my work.
You can start for your work, and maybe after that follow with different part of Jennifer.
Okay, so I teach Spanish to students in kindergarten through 5th grade at a school in Chattanooga, the Chattanooga School for Arts and Sciences. And I've been there for 8 years now. I've been teaching there for 8 years now.
But what else, more than you?
More than my job. I love to travel. I love to meet new people. I love to discover new foods.
Great. What else?
Thank you.
What countries do you know? Where have you been traveling around the world?
I've spent a lot of time in Spain. I've lived there 1 year in college, 1 year, a year in between jobs. When my daughter was 14 and my husband had his sabbatical from the university, and our child was in school in Spain, so that was another year. And then one more, I took a leave of absence from work here and spent a semester in Spain. So,
how important was that year that you spent in Spain when you were young, as you say?
when I was in college, it was, I would say, transformative, even though that's a word that may be overused. It opened my eyes to what a different culture is, that people all over the world are different, but at the core the same. That we all want people to know us. We all want people to care about us. We have things about which we're passionate, things about which we're curious. It was also an eye-opening year because it was the year that Francisco Franco died.
Okay.
So I saw 2 Spains in 1 year.
For sure. What did you say about these 2 Spain that you were able to experience? Because you are American and you have been raised in a country of freedom, and as you say, you could experience not freedom at all in one Spain, and in another one, the explosion of freedom in 1975.
Right.
So, just explain a little bit about this. Just your impression.
So many things. I was taking classes, so we had the opportunity to talk to writers and to listen to their experiences, and so from that perspective, I saw the fear, the fear of saying anything.
What else? What now? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we talked to people who who were very, very comfortable with, felt very safe, very,
Yeah, I know.
The existence under the dictatorship was something that they appreciated.
The establishment.
And so I realized that how, even though personally I found it horrifying that, in this day and age there could be a dictatorship, that people could be living in that situation. I was amazed at the gray areas that,
Yeah, they were okay.
That people that I loved and admired, whose intelligence I admired,
I know.
That they could be comfortable with that.
I know. And what happened then after he died?
Well, watching a country shut down for 5 days was kind of amazing. I wasn't there to see. I wasn't there to see La Movida. I just saw, the beginnings. Heard the beginnings of people talking about,
like a seed of something.
Hope and possibility. But seeing, hearing Juan Carlos' first speech, and here was somebody who was taking a very strongly diplomatic but very clear step in the direction of democracy was amazing.
Was very difficult, and he did a great job, of course. Now, as a teacher, as a person who is involved with education in the US, what do you think about your students? Do they appreciate the freedom that they have? Could you experience in another country how weak freedom line can be? Or do you try to transmit these kinds of feelings to your students at any way? Or even talking about the importance of cultures, of experiencing another culture is?
I do try to. I do try to help them see the value of seeing other cultures. We have developed a relationship with a school in Spain so we write letters to other children our age, so that we can kind of get to know about other cultures. As far as understanding the freedoms, I think my students are a little young to fully understand it.
I know.
But fortunately, through literature, through seminars, through discussions, they begin to.
They can have an intuition or something like that.
Yes, and they're very. I find them to be delightful and brilliant and curious, and they really do engage with a question, and I think they have an extraordinary ability to put themselves in the shoes of another person, which I don't think I did at that age. I think it's.
What do you think, Jennifer, is the best legacy that the teacher can give to her students in your case?
I think respect, really, that, really developing a caring relationship, letting the students know that you really care about each of them as an individual and that you want them to grow, to learn as much as possible about themselves, about the subject, about where their interests are, about being a
open-minded.
Right.
What's your best memory being a teacher? Do you have a best memory, or just choose one of them? Or maybe what are the best moments teaching?
You really need some time to think about that.
I guess that probably is each time that you see how your students go on.
There are so many moments. I mean, each day is full of moments, and there are the funny moments, and there are the caring moments, and the moments when, you know, the aha moments when one funny moment that was great. I was teaching the Spanish version of Humpty Dumpty to the kindergartners, and of course he fell, se cayó, and we acted it out, and we recited it many times, and after a couple of weeks, when we were on to other things, something in the classroom fell, and a little kindergartner turned his head and said, "Se cayó,"
in Spanish.
So it was internalizing what we had learned and applying it. I just thought that was a beautiful moment.
You really feel that they internalize the language. Yes, and that's like a challenge or a goal reached. No? Let me know about your childhood, Jennifer.
My childhood was...
What do you remember when you were a child?
My family traveled a lot. I was born in Georgia. My father was a lawyer in the Army, in the United States Army. And so we moved from Georgia to Alabama, to Redstone Arsenal, to New Mexico, White Sands Missile Range, and then to Naples, Italy, where we lived for 3 years. And
wow.
He worked with NATO. And then to St. Louis, Missouri. And then when my father retired from the military, he went back into private practice in Philadelphia, which is where he had grown up. So
many places.
So many places. So I'm an identical twin, so I grew up with a best friend everywhere. So traveling was not difficult. It was, you know, going to new places didn't feel difficult. I think my favorite memories were in Naples, and that's probably how I ended up pursuing Spanish
probably
and loving
Mediterranean
travel
countries. Why do you have the best memories in Naples? Just choose one for me. The environments, people, food.
The people were also kind and
friendly.
We lived in a villa. My parents decided not to live on the military base, but to have us live in town so we could really experience
the real life in Naples.
And be immersed in the culture and the language. I remember one day the caretaker of the villa they had set aside the day to make tomato sauce from scratch, so they had collected all the fresh tomatoes from the garden, and they had all these bottles that they had prepared, and so we got to we got to help with that, and I know we were squishing tomatoes. I remember that. And I remember at the end they put a leaf of fresh basil in each of the bottles, and
Yeah.
things like that. We were in their daughter's wedding, and I remember everybody had Jordan almonds at the end. We were the train bearers. Somebody who tended the garden would bring us fresh figs in baskets with the fig leaves in between. I remember the markets were beautiful. The bay, Capri,
Oh, yeah.
Ischia, the beaches, the oleander.
So many
It was
things.
just magical. I mean, I think
Yes.
that the eyes of a 7, 8, 9-year-old.
Yeah, I can imagine, Jennifer. And then you come back to the US.
And that was hard. That was
Cultural shock.
It was. That was probably the hardest transition.
In your life, because you have been living in different places after
Right.
that. Even when you grow up, as you say, you have lived in California or in San Francisco or in different places.
Well, that was later. San Francisco was after college, but
Do you like the West?
I love the West Coast.
Why?
I do. It reminds me actually a lot of the Mediterranean. I think it's very much like, I mean, San Francisco is very much to me like Naples. I think the climate and the sort of the
Something related with the mood of people, maybe international environment.
yes.
Do you like Chattanooga? Do you like living here?
I really love Chattanooga. I am so impressed with. Well, I'm really impressed with the Chattanooga Renaissance. What
Yes.
started with
Yes.
Jack Lupton's vision and what happened with the aquarium and the development of sort of the revival of the downtown, the elimination of the pollution. It's just
Do you have a favorite place in Chattanooga?
I love the River Rock. I love the Bluffview Art District. I love the Hunter Museum.
One more thing, Jennifer. Let me know about your dreams. In
My
your coming
dreams.
time, what would you like to do? What would you like to invest your time, your hopeness, and your energy?
I just like to be doing good things for people and for the place, making the world
As you do.
somehow better. I mean, I think everybody contributes something, and I just want to make sure that I'm contributing all that I can in the best ways that I can. There's a favorite children's book I have, Miss Rumphius, about they call her the Lupin Lady of Maine, but there's this line. She's told that she needs to do something to make the world more beautiful, and I think that's important. I think we all want to do something to make the world more beautiful.
What have you learned in so many years as a teacher? Learning with the students sometimes, I guess.
I think that in the end, they probably have much more to teach me than I have to teach them, and how important it is to listen.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.